the number of collisions are going to increment. Okay. Well, then I'm going to tell you about the augmented reality information. This information is at the bottom of the screen. You are constantly receiving recommendations about the objects that surround you, specifically the nearest object to your avatar. For example, here you can see that the nearest object is the yard fence, and the recommendations that wood fences sometimes are loose, so you have to keep your distance. And if I here the nearest object is the individual couches. And the recommendation is that if you like to sit on a couch, the best way to do is to place yourself facing it and asking for some assistance. Well, we have to remember that these recommendations were written for people that use wheelchairs. In this way, they can get used to all of these objects and know what to do when they encounter this type of objects in the real life. Also, we have some dynamic objects like the dog, and you can hear it as well. And for example, if you collide it, the dog barks at you. So the avatar also interacts with all the objects in the 3D environment. Well, in front of me you have like the playroom, and if you want more information about an object that is in front of you, you can ask for help using a voice command, or if you are using the keyboard as I am, you can press enter, and at the bottom in the right corner you can see the dimensions of the object, and if it is a dynamic object, you can also see its velocity. Well, finally, I'm going to talk about the perspectives that you can use in the game. Right now you're in a first-person perspective. Well, this is the more useful because this is how the patients are going to see the world. Also, you can have a third-person perspective where the field of vision is greater. You can use this if you are having problem moving in narrow spaces. And finally, you have an aerial perspective. This perspective can be controlled to voice commands as well, or with your mouse and the arrows of your keyboard. In this way you can explore all the 3D environment. And for example, you can use this perspective to look for your objectives. And then you can see all the objects that were added to the 3D virtual environment in order to make it more real. The houses, the buildings, the sky, and well, there you are, there is your avatar. You are in a wheelchair, and well, that's all for now. Expect a new video where I'm going to control the 3D environment with voice commands. Thank you for watching. Hi, now I'm going to show you a video where I control the 3D simulator with voice commands. Well, these voice commands are in Spanish, so I'm going to help you a little bit with the translation. Whenever I say adelante, it means forward. Whenever I said atrás, it means backwards. Derecha, it means right. And izquierda, it means to the left. And whenever I say cambio, cambio means change. And that's for changing the perspective of the 3D simulator from first person to third person to an aerial view. And whenever I say ayuda, it means help. And that's when the 3D simulator shows you more information about the objects that surround you. Adelante. Atrás. Izquierdo. Adelante. Atrás. Izquierdo. Atrás. Adelante. Atrás. Derecho. Adelante. Atrás. Ayuda. Izquierdo. Adelante. Atrás. Derecho. Adelante. Atrás. Cambio. Adelante. Izquierdo. Adelante. Atrás. Derecho. Adelante. Atrás. Atrás. Cambio. Izquierdo. Derecho. Atrás. Alto. Cambio. Cambio.